Welcome to our Google AdWords 102 tutorial. In Part 1, we'll set up a site-targeted advertising campaign. In this video, we'll look at how to set up a site-targeted campaign rather than a keyword-targeted campaign. A keyword-targeted campaign is, of course, an AdWords campaign where you choose to have your ad appear when certain keywords are typed in. For example, in our Antique Tables campaign, when people type in Antique Tables on Google, that's when my ad should appear. However, with a site-targeted campaign, you take a different approach. Rather than bidding on keywords, you go directly to the site where the people in the audience you want to reach spend their time. That's where you place your ads. For example, there may be an antique forum online where people have discussions about antiques they're looking for, recent finds they've had at recent antique shops, and so forth. The point is that with a site-targeted campaign, you can find these sites where your audience congregates and advertise directly to them. So it's a different approach which you can use as well as or instead of a keyword-targeted approach. Let's go about setting up a site-targeted campaign. Just click the link here, and that takes you to the New Site-Targeted Campaign Setup screen. As you can see here, there are just a few steps to the process. First of all, let's name the campaign. Let's say in this example I want to use the subject matter of creating a PDF. So let's say PDF software site targeted. Name the ad group. Let's just say PDF software for now. That will do for this example. Scroll down. I'll aim this at English-speaking customers and visitors. Now targeting customers by location. Again, you can get very specific, but probably the more specific you get, the fewer sites that will be available to you to advertise on. So I'll choose countries and territories and continue. Now we get to set up the countries we want. By default, it's added the United Kingdom for me, but I want to add other major English-speaking countries: Australia, Canada. Scrolling through, none of these are English-speaking countries, so let's continue to scroll. And the United States, of course. There's New Zealand and other potential countries, but I'll leave them out of this example for now. Continue. And now we create the first ad. What I often do, as I've demonstrated previously, is just do a placeholder here since I don't want to spend a lot of time at this point working on a specific advertisement. So for now, I'll just type in headline of advert, tab, description line 1, tab, description line 2, and that takes me to the next box, which is the display URL. Okay, what are we going to advertise? In this example, let's use the very popular PDF creation software, pdf995.com. I'll use that site for this example and copy it into the destination URL box as well. Then click Continue, and Google does a quick check, and then I can create additional ads if I wish, or continue. Again, as I just mentioned, I'm going to change this in a moment, but for now I prefer not to take time to write the ad at the campaign setup stage. I prefer to return to it when I can take my time about it. Okay, how do you choose your sites? As you can see, you have 4 different approaches. You can browse categories, You can describe topics. You can see that if you click that, you can enter potential topics into the text box. You can list URLs to find out if specific sites are available and to see if there are similar sites available. Not every site that exists is able to present Google advertisements. And finally, you can select demographics. Here you can see the basic options, which are pretty broad: gender, age, household income, etc. If your product has a pretty general audience, then this may be helpful for narrowing down sites. Okay, let's click on List URLs and quickly do this as a demonstration. Let's start by listing PDF 995 as my own site, or the demo site in this instance, and see what Google gives me. I don't believe that PDF 995 actually has any Google ads on their site. I don't believe so because if they did, it probably would appear at the top of the list. But anyway, Google now presents a list of sites that it feels are relevant to the sites I entered. Some of these sites are very broad, as you can see. There's MySpace and 2 Cows, which is a download site, Free Download Center, and so on. Such general sites could be appropriate for your audience, or perhaps not. Perhaps you need a more niche site. In any case, you can see there's a lot to look through here. Now I'll show you how it works with described topics. Let's click on that and describe topic. Let's say create PDF and get available sites. And you can see there's some duplication here. Free Download Center has appeared again, and eBuddy and SourceForge.net. Again, you can see that it gives you lots of suggestions. In this instance, I'm going to use the Browse categories as the example. It's the most relevant category to me. Let's quickly see what there is. Possibly computers and electronics, and after a quick look, it appears that that's the most relevant category in this instance. Let's drill down a little, and we see computer security, consumer electronics, and here's software, which would be the most relevant. And now we've got other subcategories: audio and multimedia, business and productivity. But which would be the most relevant? Possibly graphics and publishing. When we click there, we see there are no more subcategories, and here's the list. As you can see, for each of these sites that Google returns, they give you quite a few details. Let's see what happens when you check out More Info. There's no need to click it, just hold the mouse over it and some information appears, and we can view an example page if we wish. I'll right-click and open it in a new window so we can just take a quick look at the site to get a feel whether it's relevant.